This is 7 News, the voice of the Central West.
Tonight, community debate heats up over a proposed kart track site.
A renewable energy project could link with the Inland Rail.
I'm Daniel Gibson. Later on this news hour, how authorities are tracking the dangerous asylum seekers released from detention and how the record growth in wages will impact our interest rates.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. The debate over a proposed Bathurst kart track is tonight heating up after a development application went public.
It's an issue which has been bubbling away for years, but it could soon come to a head.
Mount Panorama. It's the home of the big dance. But before big things, little things must grow. And Bathurst Kart Club has long wanted their own place to make that possible.
We feel that our sport deserves a home just as much as what the basketball, the footballers, soccer players, push bike riders, everybody else.
Council has now put forward a proposed plan for a kart track development at the old drive-in site off Conrod Strait. The estimated cost of the project is $4.7 million, which would build a track, pits, paddock area and acoustic mound.
It's a bloody icon of motorsport, Mount Panorama. I think it's an ideal spot for it, and this is a sporting precinct.
It comes after multiple attempts to develop a track over many years, and Bathurst Kart Club could face more opposition.
There's way too much noise. The acoustic report lists 251 homes and businesses that will be affected, and that's not acceptable.
Council is also supporting the project with a $2 million loan, which was secured in 2020.
Council's in financial strife at the moment. It tried to introduce a special rate variation rate rise.
The go-kart track loan is still part of the project, and until we have a determination in any other way, we won't be acting on that in the short term.
Submissions can now be made on the Your Say Council website, which will be independently assessed. Council hopes a final decision could be reached by March next year.
Everybody will be able to see everybody else's objections or support and what those arguments are, and we can weigh the whole thing up.
Ruben Spargo, 7 News.
Local input will soon begin to decide how $100 million of flood recovery money will be spent. For more on this, we go now to Ruben Spargo. And Ruben, what more do we know?
Attention is turning back to the ongoing rebuild after the Central West marked 1 year since the deadly flood. After speaking with community leaders today, they're keen to start deciding the requirements of our region to design the $100 million program. It's not yet known when those discussions will formally begin amongst a panel, but locals are keen to work through it quickly. We also know the availability of tradies in the region is presenting a challenge.
We can't get a builder till halfway through next year. They're that flat out. And, if we could get some builders up from the city to come and help, not just us, everybody.
As for the recent funding, the federal government wants to see a community leaders panel report back to them by February so they can start getting that money out the door.
Thanks for the update, Ruben. That's Ruben Spargo reporting there for us tonight.
An emergency warning was issued this afternoon over the Hudson fire burning northwest of Walgett. Strengthening winds saw an increase in erratic fire behaviour bearing down on the Glengarry village. Residents were told just before 3 p.m. to leave their properties and head for safety at Lightning Ridge. The blaze has burnt more than 13,000 hectares and is yet to be controlled. Multiple firefighters are on the ground and are being supported by water-bombing aircraft.
A woman has died after becoming trapped under a car in Forbes today. Emergency services were called to Lawler Street at around 9 a.m. following reports a vehicle had rolled on top of a person. The woman, believed to be in her 70s, was treated by paramedics but died at the scene. She's yet to be formally identified and police are investigating the incident. A major renewable energy and chemicals project, which could cost $1.8 billion, is being proposed for Narromine. Tonight, we can reveal the plans to transform the state's waste into household electricity, a process they say locals won't smell.
A site able to turn waste into renewable energy. This is what's being proposed by Asia Pacific Waste Solutions, 10 kilometres outside of Narromine.
It is the most technologically advanced renewable energy project in the country.
Strategically located on the inland rail line, the project is designed to receive sealed containers filled with the likes of organic or plastic waste before it's processed.
It's converted into the either electricity, chemicals, whatever we require. It can be varied depending upon what the market needs.
How it's done will be through stages. Stage 1 includes an anaerobic digestion plant, which is seen across the world, converting organic waste into household electricity. Stage 2 involves a gasification facility, transforming residual waste into hydrogen and chemicals for new plastic manufacturing. Together, diverting hundreds of thousands of tonnes of waste away from landfill sites across the state, which are nearing capacity.
We're bringing world-leading technology from Europe to Australia. So that will create a lot of jobs here that are of a completely different nature and level.
The project, which could lead to a $1.8 billion investment, is slated to create 250 direct jobs during its construction and 150 jobs while it's operating, with fears of smell being addressed.
It's an enclosed system, so there's no smell attached. There is no emissions at all with this first process, so it is a real win-win situation.
The proposal is progressing through the planning process, promising to answer the state's waste management and energy security issues.
We're going to solve a lot of the issues that we currently face.
Hamish Southwell, 7 News.
Dubbo Regional Council is offering a reward of more than $2,000 to catch anyone caught damaging public property. It's been revealed a Geary Oval has been repeatedly targeted by vandals over the past few months, the amenities block, playground and shade sail all being damaged. The council says the community are left to foot the repair bill, which already sits above $20,000. It's prompted the reward for information to reduce acts of graffiti and theft.
A war is raging between supermarkets and farmers as meat price differences remain as wide as ever. The leader of the Nationals is calling for drastic measures so families aren't forking out more than they should.
$55, quickly, bidding, done. Lamb going for as low as $2 a head. The Central Tablelands Livestock Exchange now bringing in a fraction of what it once was.
We've probably come off our biggest boom in the last 2 years, and it's probably dropped, every bit of 50 or 60% on the last over the last 6 months.
Farmers were paying a little over $10 per kilo for cattle, a figure that's dropped to $3.65 over the past year. But the price tag for a kilo of grass-fed rump steak at your local supermarket can still be as high as $36, something Nationals leader David Littleproud says warrants an ACCC inquiry.
This is a tool the Treasurer could call on immediately and compel those CEOs to turn up from Coles and Woolworths and give evidence about how they got to their pricing structure.
For independent butchers, it may be a different story. Owner of Blaney's Railway Meats, Matthew Paul, says the lower sale yard prices are reflected in his offering, but there is a delay.
It's definitely been passed along now, but it's just taken a while, and it doesn't really drop overnight.
Not everyone is optimistic about the prospect of a national inquiry.
I suppose it's probably, if it comes out with a few positives, I suppose it's always going to help. Look, will it? I'm not 100% sure if it will.
But with the cost of living crisis already hitting hard, pushing the envelope on the issue is an idea that's gaining traction.
We just want cheaper chops. Let's be honest, this is where government have an opportunity to inject themselves into the marketplace where there's market failure.
Woolworths say sale yard prices don't reflect their supply chain and that they pay suppliers more than the market indicators. Charlotte Wallen, 7 News.
Several landholders from the Macquarie Marshes have spoken out in Canberra before the Senate debates the controversial Murray-Darling Basin Plan. They have provided their support for voluntary water buybacks to occur, calling for more water to be returned to the rivers.
The buybacks, they need to happen now. We're about to go into, quite a severe drought that's already started.
It comes as some of the country's largest farming organisations prepare to protest against the controversial water bill, claiming if water buybacks occur, it will decimate rural towns.
Kirsty joins us now with a look at today's weather. And Kirsty, with those warm conditions around, we did see some fire activity.
That's right, Maddie. Hello to you, Nick, as well, and everybody at home. As we heard earlier, the Hudson fire, burning 70 kilometres northwest of Walgett, did reach an emergency level today. It is burning in an east and northeasterly direction, thanks to 45 to 50 km/h west to southwesterly wind gusts. Those winds are also blowing embers ahead of that main fire front. Now to the rest of the region, we have had a mostly settled and clear day across the Central West. Just a bit of patchy cloud around the tablelands. A high pressure system is driving the sunshine, our mild temperatures, which range from the mid-20s into the mid-30s with a very high UV rating today. Gusty winds around 30 kilometres in Orange this afternoon, and we had similar weather in Dubbo. Into tonight and tomorrow, there is a slight chance of a storm and showers to the east, though. I'll have a look at Thursday's weather forecast a little later on.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kirsty.
Still to come in 7 News, concerns there's no longer a village to help support our expectant parents.
And multicultural swimming lessons improve safety and community connections.
And a little later on this news hour, the PM urged to delay his trip to the US over the release of convicted criminals. A jumping castle company slammed after refusing to serve a Jewish school. And a top-level security report sounds the alarm on cybercrime in Australia.
It's Perinatal Mental Health Week, and new data is shining a light on concerns among expectant parents. Local maternity specialists are on the case, raising awareness of the stigma that can surround mental health issues.
A new study shows expectant parents are being left in the lurch. 70% are lacking a support network of other parents, creating a mental health toll that can rise even higher outside our major cities.
There is still a lot of stigma around mental health, which is something that we're really trying to break through. But we do find that that stigma still really exists in regional parts of Australia.
Support groups focused on mothers can leave expectant partners vulnerable.
I think there is such a focus on the mums, obviously, because they're the ones birthing the babies and things like that. But for the partners, they can often get left behind thinking, oh, you haven't birthed this baby, you'll be fine.
Research shows that 1 in 5 mums and 1 in 10 dads will experience perinatal depression or anxiety. Yeah, that is not just a gendered issue specifically to mums.
For local doula Taylor Orton, starting the conversation during pregnancy is the first step.
I don't think it's talked about nearly as much as postnatal anxiety and depression is talked about, but certainly a big factor for a lot of people.
And as a community, there may be something we can do.
Just asking the question, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? Or noticing something about them that might feel a bit different, like, I haven't seen you at the mothers group for the last couple of weeks. You're doing all right.
With 30% of expectant parents saying they struggle to connect with other parents, providing the right support networks could be more important than ever. Charlotte Wallen, 7 News.
Free swimming lessons for migrants and refugees are making a splash in Orange. And it's not just about getting confident in the water, but also making friends along the way.
Bathers on and kickboards ready. Those from cultures that don't typically teach swimming are taking the plunge.
So I'm originally from Africa, and most people don't do swimming here, and Australia is all surrounded with water. So I was like, I better learn how to swim.
First day and now is feel better. I like here because we meet a lot of people with different cultures.
The multicultural swimming lessons have seen 36 enrolments this term, coming from 17 countries.
They learn more English, they're listening to English, and we always have a snack and chat session after the swimming. Everyone's hungry after swimming.
And a success story from last year's cohort is already making strokes of her own.
Now I'm teaching for Orange City Council as a swimming instructor, and I feel really grateful.
For Ukrainian refugee Svetlana, it means passing on crucial skills to the next generation.
I have a little son, so I need to support him when he starts to learn swimming. So I need to swim too.
An initiative set to expand.
We are for the first time going to offer it also in Cowra for a few weeks coming into the summer.
The lessons are running at the Orange Aquatic Centre on Wednesdays. Charlotte Wallen, 7 News.
Still to come in 7 News, the connection between dog and handler is tested at the Carcoar Sheepdog Trials.
And a colourful Toothy Tens tournament pushes fundraising totals over $500,000.
Welcome back. The Toothy Tens has done more than unite the rugby community after tragedy. The final event has now pushed the fundraising efforts of the Nick Tooth Foundation to more than $500,000.
The 7th and final Nick Tooth Memorial Rugby Tens tournament was given the send-off it deserved. 26 teams bringing in players from all over the country to honour Nick Tooth and raise money for brain injury in sport.
It's certainly been a gift for me and a gift for my family, I think, to help us grieve, kind of having all of these people around us, and it's all about rugby, the game that my brother loves.
The event was first played in 2015 and this year's Tens tipped the fundraising efforts to over $500,000, allowing the Nick Tooth Foundation a chance to give back one last time.
Have today, celebrate, raise as much money as possible, and then sort of, I guess, spend the next few months reflecting on the best way to use that money.
At times, the matches were as hot as the weather.
You can really see that even though they're trying to be, you know, casual and social about it, there's certainly a lot of competition out there.
Even a Wallaroo pulled on the boots and enjoyed the challenge.
It's just fun to come back home and play for emus again. They've always been in my corner, so why not play again?
But that competitive edge was still there.
Go for Toothy Tens. I mean, winning. You can't not like winning, especially with the emus.
And while Goosey Sports may have lifted the major trophy, the Pickled Porkers were eyeing off an even bigger prize.
We try and aim for the team of the tournament rather than the best performing team. The team of the tournament, if we can get the team of the tournament, keep it real for the people, that's what we're all about.
All while delivering on the field as well.
I'm looking good at punt, fair bit of halfback, which is great. The delivery's been crisp and wonderful.
Michelle Cook, 7 News.
The 2023 Carcoar Sheepdog Trials have shown off that some traditional farming skills are better than the rest, proving that old school can be just as effective as modern technology.
Standing in a field, trusting your dog's instincts. The Carcoar Sheepdog Trials have shown off the abilities of some of the best in the business.
So they can come to where you see the dogs competing on 3 sheep. Not 300 or 30, because it's much, much harder to work 3 than 30 or 300.
Pip Hudson's dog Derby delivering the abilities that pushed him to a second placing in the Supreme Australian Championship.
He has a presence to stock and can handle 300 or 3,000.
Forest Reef's Peter Oxley and his dogs have represented Australia in the Trans-Tasman Test, the event providing a chance to share their knowledge with their Kiwi counterparts.
And they showed us how they work their dogs and how they train them. So you can adapt some of their ideas to your ideas and vice versa.
All of the training came in handy for the arena trial in Carcoar. Dog and handler working together to take 3 sheep through a 15-minute obstacle course, with people coming from all over the state, and recent TV shows increasing the participation.
Have brought people to want to come and have a go and experience what a dog and sheep are like, and they want to get out there and see if they can learn to do it and be successful at it, and most of them are.
Showing the old style still has plenty of merit.
And so a lot of people are using drones, I suppose, but I'm sure that they wouldn't have the same effect as a good dog.
Michelle Cook, 7 News.
Up next in 7 News, Kirsty is back and she's got your local weather forecast. That's next.
Good evening, everyone. Troughs over the northeast of our state could trigger thunderstorms and showers for the next couple of days. They'll also link up with onshore winds along the coast, with that wet weather persisting. For the inland, more settled weather into the weekend, but we can see wet weather returning to the eastern half of the state, and that's into early next week. Rainfall is likely to increase under this system. In fact, we could see heavy showers stretching from the northeast of the state through to our central west, as well as towards the southeast as well, particularly through Sunday and Monday. We are expected to get a bit of a better idea of how much rainfall could reach our backyard as we check these models over the next couple of days. First, though, to our Thursday weather, and we can expect partly cloudy skies for the Central West tomorrow. Areas of sunshine and blue skies, but some gusty winds developing into the morning and then towards the middle of the day. Around the ranges, we could see the chance of showers, Lithgow and then towards Katoomba and the Blue Mountains. Anywhere between about 3 and 10 millimetres is forecast. Still a high fire danger rating, though, for the region tomorrow, and we are expecting a total fire ban to be in place from midnight for the upper Central West slopes and plains tomorrow. Taking a look now to our Friday weather forecast, it will be sunny and settled for most in the lead up to the weekend. A mostly fine day, a bit of light patchy cloud as we wrap up our working week. Dubbo a top of 30, Parkes and Cowra much of the same. Winds becoming south to southeasterly, no more than a moderate breeze with a very high UV rating. A little bit of scattered cloud in Bathurst, 25, and the high 20s with that cloud cover also in Mudgee. And Saturday looks to be much of the same. Sunny skies, I should say. Temperatures warming up, 34 in Cobar and Condobolin a top of 33. Breezy winds around though, chopping and changing direction across the day. Now the heat also leading to that chance of instability as a result of troughs in the region that could drive a late storm and a possible late shower in the north. If we take a look ahead now to the next 7 days, a trough barrelling into the state does look to bring moderate, possibly heavy rainfall through Sunday and Monday. The chance of 30+ millimetres just across those 48 hours. A very welcome reprieve from some very dry and very hot conditions that are still on the forecast over the next 3 days or so.
Yeah, plenty of sunshine till we hit those storms.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a bit of rain.
Will be indeed. Thanks, Kirsty.
And that's your local news for tonight. Thanks for your company. You can catch up on our website or, of course, 7plus.
Right now, Dan's got your national news. Enjoy your night. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock.